In January of 2013, a 21-year-old Canadian student named Elisa Lam arrived in Los Angeles during a solo trip across the United States. She was known to be intelligent, curious, and active online, often writing about her travels and personal thoughts.
She checked into a place called the Cecil Hotel, located in downtown Los Angeles. The hotel had a long and dark history, known for crime, violence, and strange incidents over the years. But Elisa likely didn't know much about that when she booked her stay.
At first, everything seemed normal. She explored the city, visited bookstores, and continued posting updates online.
But within just a few days, something began to change. Other guests staying near Elisa started to complain. They reported strange behavior. Some said she was acting erratically, leaving notes for other guests, and behaving in ways that made them uncomfortable. Because of this, hotel staff decided to move her to a different room.
Not long after that, Elisa disappeared. She was last seen on January 31st, 2013.
When her parents didn't hear from her, they became concerned. Elisa had always stayed in contact during her travels. They reported her missing. Police began searching the hotel immediately.
They checked her room. They searched the hallways. They even brought in dogs, but there was no sign of her. Days passed with no answers. Then something happened that would turn this case into one of the most famous and disturbing mysteries on the internet.
The Los Angeles Police Department released surveillance footage from one of the hotel elevators. The video was strange, unsettling, and deeply confusing.
It showed Elisa Lam inside the elevator late at night. At first, she appeared normal. Then suddenly, her behavior changed.
She pressed multiple buttons on the control panel, one after another. Then she stepped back into the corner of the elevator, as if she was trying to hide. She peeked her head out into the hallway,
Quickly pulled it back, then stepped out, then back in again. The elevator doors stayed open the entire time. They never closed, as if something was preventing them.
At one point, Elisa stepped outside the elevator and began moving her hands in strange, unnatural ways. It looked like she was communicating with someone, but no one else appeared in the footage. No one entered, no one exited.
and yet she clearly wasn't acting alone. The video ended, and the mystery only deepened.
The footage spread across the internet. Millions of people watched it, analyzed it, slowed it down. Some believed she was being followed. Others believed she was hiding from someone.
Some thought she was speaking to something that couldn't be seen, but no one knew for sure. As days turned into weeks, the case grew colder, until something horrifying changed everything.
Guests at the Cecil Hotel began complaining about the water. They said it had a strange taste, a dark color. Some even said it smelled bad. Hotel management sent a maintenance worker to check the rooftop water tanks. The tanks were large, heavy, and not easy to access. When the worker opened one of the tanks, he made a discovery that shocked everyone.
Inside was Elisa Lam. Her body had been floating in the water for days. The same water that guests had been using. The same water they had been drinking. The investigation that followed raised more questions than answers. How did Elisa get to the roof? The doors to the roof were supposed to be locked, and if opened, alarms were supposed to trigger.
But no alarms were reported that night. How did she get inside the water tank? The lid was heavy.
And once inside, how could she have closed it behind her? There were no signs of forced entry, no signs of struggle, no evidence that anyone else had been involved.
The official report later concluded that Elisa Lam's death was accidental. They suggested that she may have been experiencing a mental health episode, possibly related to bipolar disorder, which she had previously been diagnosed with. It was believed she may have climbed into the tank herself during a state of confusion.
But for many people, that explanation was not enough, because the questions remained. Why was the elevator behaving that way? Why didn't the doors close? Who was she reacting to?
Why were there no clear signs of how she accessed the roof? And how did she end up in a sealed tank? Even years later, people continue to debate what really happened.
Some believe it was a tragic accident. Others believe there is something more to the story. Something that was never discovered. Something that was never explained. Because sometimes the most disturbing cases are not the ones with clear answers. They are the ones where the truth feels just out of reach, and the only thing left behind is a mystery that refuses to disappear.